King of Podcast here, reminding you if you want to help out this channel and help out with all the podcast content I do each and every week for all of you, go shop for Amazon through my special link, kingofamazon.com. That's kingofamazon.com. Or feel free to donate through Cash App and PayPal. You can find it on the screen or in the description, or look for it right now if you're listening in. Look for at King of All Podcasts for Cash App and at King of Podcasts for PayPal. I have been talking about the TV shows that we're watching on network and cable TV, the people that are deciding to go and just continue to do content, even though it doesn't look that good. So here we go. The magic of network TV now happens in living rooms. This was an interesting story because what I didn't get a chance to talk about, which I just learned about now, is how are these TV shows doing their content, which is fascinating. And I think there's certain things that should be taken from this article about how the network TV shows and how creative people are learning how to do content during this time from home. And there might be some things that some of you out there that might be listening or watching this and saying, oh yeah, I know about that. But some of you, I'm sure, oh, that's actually kind of interesting. That's not that bad. So let's see what they're going to do. The magic of network TV now happens in living rooms. TV shows are going fully remote, and it's not easy. Here's what they're saying. So now they're talking about the programming that is out there. Some of the shows you can't do anything about. You can't just put things together in terms of dramas or TV shows or like scripted shows or soap operas, things like that. There's no way to bring those shows together. That's what happens. So a full-scale TV shortage is not likely to happen. And Netflix, for one, has actually filmed its slate for much on all this year through 2021. So Netflix has got loads of programming to go ahead and keep us filled with. That's why they got 15 million extra subscribers. They're going to be able to hold on to much of them. They're going to be doing okay. They still got a big bunch of debt, but they're trying to get themselves figured out. And this could have come at no better a time. But for a big sector of the TV world, there isn't a pandemic plan C. Show must go on from your living room. So American Idol, which was supposed to move into a live show phase right now, has now rolled out its first fully remote episode. So what happened was producers shipped equipment, an iPhone, a ring light to every contestant. Tech staff dropped by their homes to check the strength of their Wi-Fi connections. On Zoom, the aspiring stars offered tours of their homes so Idol producers could pick the best backgrounds. From behind the judges' table, expect some glam shots of Luke Bryan's Tennessee barn. His setup is 2 iPhones hooked up to a tripod with a TV monitor balanced on a nearby barrel. Interesting. And then the stars of Keeping Up with the Kardashians also got iPhones in the mail, and a runner with E comes by every week to pick up and upload the recordings. When producers need to do extra videos, lighting techs show up to do the Kardashian households in masks and painter suits. The Bachelor is considering a quarantine edition of its own, and the creators of Orange is the New Black is unveiling a new show called Social Distance, an anthology series written and filmed remotely. But if there's one lesson we've learned in this brave new world of SNL Live from the Basement, is that home cut TV has its pitfalls. One story they actually brought up was on Good Morning America, somebody might have made a mistake of, you got to cover yourself up when you're on camera and you don't realize, usually somebody has a camera that's pointed at you so you know what's going on, and then you don't realize what's going on. Oops. So a reporter went on GMA without wearing any pants, and we could see it. And there you go. I don't know if those are boxers or those are shorts, but you can see leg. And there we go. So the story he was talking about on Tuesday was about pharmacies. Will Reeve, an ABC reporter, using drones to deliver prescriptions to people in a Florida retirement village. And at first, Amy Robach, who hosts on the Good Morning America show, you could see at first point, yeah, legs covered, but then by then, nope, we got leg. So another thing being talked about as well is about the homes that all these celebrities are living in, which I didn't talk too much about. But again, look at the homes that all these people have and all this that they're having around, and the attempts by the celebrities and the people hosting shows on how to try to keep themselves kind of grounded so they don't look so fancy or look too upper echelon and too refined for the peons that are watching them on TV from their hovel, wherever they might be. So one is Trevor Noah. He's been doing it from a desk inside his Manhattan apartment, and he's asking people to email him about how his taste in objects and art are. Which, listen, he's got a nice little home. He's got good taste in stuff. It's very modern. Very New Yorkish, very Manhattan-like. Probably has a big place because he makes millions of dollars, doesn't he? But then you got to ask yourself, with all the struggles that are going on, Are people actually watching? Well, here's what's happening. There was a peak in March of people watching these programs from home, but now it's starting to change. Nielsen ratings are starting to show a difference. There's only so much content people can consume. So here's what's going on. To get through the stuck-at-home days of the coronavirus pandemic, Americans have struggled. We have spent more time watching more TV in front of the TV, gorging on streaming shows, news programs, old sitcoms, and video games. But that little by little, they started to wean themselves from their favorite lockdown diversion. The peak came at the end of March. Average viewer logged in 40 hours of TV time during the week of March 16th, and the next week it went up to 41%, well above the normal amount of 33 hours during the same week in 2019. And April, it's changed. So the whole month of April is done, and Americans have grown less reliant on Netflix, cable news, and Animal Crossing. So now the amount of time is dropping. And the April decline occurred nearly in every age group and applied to areas like TV, live TV, streaming, and gaming. There's only so much content people can consume. So now here's one of the things that are going on. Movie theaters shuttered, Hollywood studios making some films immediately available for streaming. People have changed how they get their entertainment. And there may be no going back to their old viewing habits. There will be. People will go back to movie theaters. There's no doubt about that. So then HarrisX, a research firm, noted that 74% of American homes now subscribe to a streaming service. And I have a couple. I won't deny. A figure that went up by roughly 2.5 million in the first 3 months of the year. But again, part of that was because people were cutting the cable. They're cutting the cord. They're all doing it. That was just part of life anyway. It just got amplified. So others are less sure that there will happen of a return to data life will be something more than like normal. Netflix coming off the biggest month in its history, cautioned in an investor note last week that shareholders could expect viewership numbers to shrink and subscriptions to level off. So they will expect a hit in the next coming months. I think they're just hedging their bets, thinking that they're going to be okay. And if they keep anticipating and being proactively saying, oh, we're going to be okay, then they'll just go and come themselves back up. But then also, an Anchor writer, Anchor Hollywood newsletter, he argued that post-pandemic, people will not want to do anything that reminds them of this time. And that's exactly the point. The from-home stuff is going to be a novelty just for this time, and that's all it's going to be. But most importantly, if you're going to keep doing this, by all means, anybody that's doing this at all, we see everybody's doing a pretty good job of lighting themselves and putting themselves out there. Listen, I'm improving myself each and every time I do this, right? Because I'm just watching all this different content that's being done. I'm saying, you know what? I got to do a better job of it. So let me figure out what I can do to make it looking better. What all you got to do? Since I started doing this so many months ago, I think it was 6 months ago I started doing this. I started doing the overlay narration stuff back when I first started 2 years ago on this channel. But I have been working on more, 2.5 years ago, as a matter of fact. But I've been doing more to try to get that fixed up and, gradually trying to get things better. Always had the good microphone because podcasting's my thing. But to do the video side, it's a different point. But here's the one thing I always say most important is that there is something to be said about people doing programming when you learn how to do radio and do it well and know how to speak and be able to keep people engaged for hours on end. That's a skill. That's a trait. And then if you're able to go ahead and have the visuals necessary to keep people watching your programming after listening to you, then that's just another component, because some people that watch YouTube videos, they're only listening to them. They're not watching them, right? So keep that in mind as well. And most importantly, that's why you need to make sure that anything you do for YouTube, and I think the same thing goes for network TV, you got to make yourself sound good. Something to be said about making yourself sound good where it doesn't sound good at all when your audio sounds like you're in another room way in the back and it's not been fixed up. Everybody has to get that figured out and notice, no, you can't do it like that. It doesn't sound good. So keep that in mind, right? And then the other thing too is that if you're doing it on Skype, if you're doing it for somewhere else, please get yourself a microphone like this. Get yourself a Blue product. Snowball's good. The Yetis are very good. Get yourself a good microphone with an XLR. Have somebody to help you with it. Somebody has a good audiophile. There's people out there that can always tell you how to do it. But most importantly, also just get a good headset, get a good microphone. And it doesn't matter if you have a headphone on your head, if you got a microphone in front of you, if it's on camera, who cares? Most people are used to that these days. How can you not watch Joe Rogan if he doesn't have a microphone in front of him? How do you not watch Howard Stern if he doesn't have a microphone in front of him? They all do. Most of your great YouTube creators do already. So do that. I mean, look at how many people are also doing gaming and doing other like Twitch channels. They all have good microphones because that's what you should have. That's what's important. And I'll leave that final note to all of you out there. Please subscribe to the channel. I'd love to get some more subscribers so I can actually monetize this channel someday. Maybe get on the YouTube partner program someday. I don't know. But I'd love to get that kind of help. So any way you can help out, I already told you how you can help out from the top. But here, please go ahead and subscribe here if you're on YouTube. If you're listening in, it's youtube.com/JBRASCO951. Subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss a new episode. And I'm always putting rebroadcasts of my Broadcasters podcast, of my Wrestling World podcast. All that's here for you. I'll talk to you next time.